took a little bit of time because I had gotten a couple of photos that didn't quite do it, but I was able to get a couple of them that look pretty decent. This one is just about developed, but I had gotten their pretty decent rank B one with the other one. So now we are good to go in the chorus plains. And once again, we got some other enemies out here that we could fight. So I'm going to go a little bit over here because we can grab some chests. Okay, so leather hide. I think we could probably give this... Yeah, we could give this to Conan. And we did... Yeah, we got longsword for Alexander. Alright, so we got a couple of goat enemies that we can actually get these photos for. So let's check up on this one. Rank C. Okay. Figured that one would be alright. Yeah, I guess I'll keep it for now. So I can just move along. I could go fight these dudes.
Better back off.
Okay, these guys can be pretty quick when it comes to their attacks, so I do have to be careful. Yeah, I missed it. It's alright, it happens. Should be nice. That was a good one.
Sacred signature. Sacred signature. Okay.
Alright, back up a bit.
Say cheese.
Grab a couple, and we should be good to go. Nice. Ooh, good hit.
Not much to you, huh?
Pretty decent. It's probably going to be like bees, maybe. Yeah, so we'll see later on if those count. But for now, we can move on. So, if you saw those pieces of paper, they come into play here. What? What are goats doing in a place like this? If you're gonna play, couldn't you do it somewhere else? Please, Mr. Goat, we're trying to get to the other side of the bridge. Do you think you could let us through? And it appears futile. He doesn't seem to have the slightest intention of moving. I know. You have to use food in a situation like this. Everybody knows that animals always listen to people who give them food. You think? It's true. This one time in Retardondo, I gave a seagull some breadcrumbs and it brought me my hat that was stuck in a tree. Well, I suppose we got nothing to lose. We might as well look for something they can eat. So we grabbed the paper. So we got one right here, but I could save this one for last because we have two other ones we need to get. I did see one at the entrance, and I think I can go around here. We got one over here. So I'll grab this one. Now I'll head back to the entrance. Yeah, by the way, it doesn't matter what order you pick them up. You have to talk to the goats first, and then we can pick up the pieces of paper. And number 3. Alright, time to feed the goats. Do you think he'll eat it? Looks like he's eating it. Guess goats really do eat paper. Looks like that satisfied him. Come on, Mr. Goat. Won't you pretty please let us pass through? And there it goes. Whew, finally we could get going. See, right now it's just like I told you. Animals listen to you if you give them something to eat. Alright, you win. I guess I'll have to start listening to whatever you say, Pete. And speaking of goats, let's check out the photos. Like these. Okay, that works. And another enemy. So, we picked up Long John's. And the NPC for that is right over here, the goat herder. So we could talk to him. Hi there. I have sort of an embarrassing request. You wouldn't happen to have a pair of Long Johns handy, would you? Well, it just so happens. Hey, thanks. It was getting a bit chilly down south, if you know what I mean. I was just resting in the shade of a bush when all of a sudden the goat came up behind me and bleated right in my ear. Needless to say, I was surprised, and when I stood up, my Long Johns got caught. It was terrible. If I give you this, would you mind giving me some privacy? Goat's milk. So here we go. Let's see. The next end piece for that is a little ways away. Alright, so let's grab the chest. Giselle for beat. Plus 15. Nice. Alright, so we also got these guys here too. So we can grab a couple of photos of these as well. Good block. Yeah, I missed it. That's alright. Nice. Yeah, so I gotta get this guy. Might have to take a few photos of this guy because he is a little bit bigger than some of the other ones. Good blocks. Yeah, Goat's gonna take the long way around. Which is fine, because that helps out me. The less they attack, the better. Alright. Back up a little bit. Okay. Should be good to go. Alright, got a good combo here. I can set up Sun Slash. I missed it. Then we can move on. Ooh, a 32. There we go. Nice.
What did you expect?
Alright, so that's another one done. Some far away, but we got some close-up ones too, so that's good. Yeah, we'll see how those are. Now I gotta go around them some more. Alright, I believe that was it for chests. We only had those two. So, to continue on, we just gotta take the path to the right over here. So, we do have another character coming up. This is where I was talking about where I prefer the farm. That's only because of an ability they get. So I will be farming for a little bit. But I'll edit it out so we don't have to see any of that. So I gotta get the character up to level 15. Which isn't too bad because they start out like level 12. Good blocks. There we go. Okay, here we go. There's that one. Yeah, let's do that. Kind of messed that up. I'll be fine. That'll help out. There we go. Yeah, missed that. I didn't think he was going to actually go down that far. Alright, now let's take this guy out. Not too bad. I'm going to go to the shadow so I can get rapid shooter here. Yeah, that'll do quite a bit. Right. Alright, any of these photos good? Just about done. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure when it comes to photo development, I think it's just running around and waiting a little bit, I believe. I don't think it's like battles. Yeah, so that's not too bad. Let's see what this one is. Yeah, he got behind me. I was hoping I was going to get around him. Yeah, so that's a downfall of getting attacked from behind. All the enemies attack first, and it can be pretty dangerous. Because since we're facing away, we can't exactly guard. So it can definitely be pretty dangerous to our character. Thankfully, we can recover soon. So it's not all bad. Do a little combo here. There we go. Okay. Do some healing. Now wait. That's alright. Yeah, that happens a lot. Alright, let's go in the shadow here. We should be good with this one. There we go. Level ups all around. Nice, so we got Shadow Assault. That's a really good one for Allegretto. Okay, nothing to beat this yet. Yeah, so Shadow Assault, just like its name entails, it is a dark attack, which we need the shadows for, and it's a multi-hit, which is a really good setup for combos. It's pretty much the dark version of Sun Slash. And we're good to go. Ooh, so that was a rank A. Okay, nice. Alright, so we do have an enemy here, so I suppose I could take some photos of it. It's not necessarily a boss. It is an enemy that we can run into. So I will grab one of those. because there is a boss a little bit later on too. So yeah, I'll grab it for now. But first, safety save. We got a cutscene coming up. And we're at pretty decent levels right now anyway too, so it definitely helps out.
Look up ahead, everyone. There's someone there.
Get back! I won't let you lay a finger on my goats. You'll have to get through me first.
Save the goats.
We have to help that woman. Come on, let's fight!
Alright, so now we got these guys. Got it. Yeah, so I do have to be careful. Nice. Alright, so we have Viola. One of the better characters that do like really good damage. And they're a bow user too, which means long range. So we get to do some really good damage this way.
Take that!
And there goes that one. Yeah, definitely a welcome party member. Alright, so I'm gonna grab some photos.
Watch the little birdie!
Alright, should be good to go. Okay. Yeah, some of the timings for these guys can be a little weird. Okay, not as much, but still pretty decent. There we go.
You're a mess.
Yeah, definitely hands down one of the stronger characters that we get to play as. One of my favorite ones.
That's better.
Yeah, level 12. Yeah, so the big reason why I want to get her to level 15 is that she gets a really good ability. Don't have to get it now because, you know, we can pretty much play this as normal. No, and we got Night Shot too. We got a nighttime photo one. But it's mostly just a preference, and that's because of the difficulty in New Game
Hey,
Plus.
thanks a lot for your help. You all managed to save my goats.
What was with those guys anyway? They were weird, and they all used magic.
Yeah, definitely weird.
Yes, they had the ability to use magic, which means that they must be terminally ill, doesn't it? But why on earth would they attack us like that? They had a strange, evil look in their eyes.
What? You mean you don't know? That's what happens to people when they use mineral powder for too long.
What? You mean, if you keep using mineral powder, you might end up like those guys?
Very interesting.
But lots of people in Retardando are using it. That's why floral powders aren't
Yeah, they don't
selling.
talk about that side effect.
So that's it. The mineral powder. I knew something fishy was going on. It's been bugging me for a while, and now I get it.
Huh? What do you get?
Come on. Think for a minute, Beat. Why do you think mineral powder is the only thing that's not taxed?
Well, that's an easy one. It's because Count Waltz is doing something nice for his people.
No, dummy. You can't see things for what they are because you're always looking through that lens. Listen, try again, and this time think about it more. Isn't it strange that mineral powder is the only thing that's not being taxed?
Yeah, I guess. But that's okay, because since mineral powder is so cheap, it can help lots of people.
True. Mineral powder does cure most illnesses, but it has some very serious side effects. Mineral powder is actually closer to a poison. It drives people mad and eventually can lead to death. You saw it for yourselves.
That's horrible.
Well, grazing time is over for today. Hey, why don't you all stop by my place for a while? It's not very far from here at all, so come on.
No, just a quick scroll right over.
My name is Viola, and this little guy over here is my partner, Arco.
Oh, how cute.
So mineral powder's a poison.
But there must be more to it than that. Some reason for their wanting to distribute it amongst the people. What could Count Waltz's real objective be?
That's what I'd like to know, too.
He cannot possibly want to kill all of his own subjects, can he?
Who knows? I've heard that there are lots of dark rumors about the Count.
But if he wanted to kill his own people, there are easier and faster ways to go about doing it.
Now, wait a minute. Maybe he doesn't know about the side effects of the mineral powder.
It's definitely possible.
Is it really possible that he doesn't know?
I'm not sure. I mean, mineral powder has its uses, but just because it's useful doesn't mean that it's good. Those involved might not realize what's wrong until it's too late. Unless someone does something about this soon, there won't be anything anyone can do to stop it. And since we can see what's going on, it's up to us to let them know.
They like how convenient it is so much, they don't see the danger they'll face later.
I see. People might notice that something isn't right, but they can't bring themselves to give it up because it makes life easier for them.
It's true what they say. The longer you wait, the harder the cure.
Yeah, pretty much.
Regardless of whether Count Waltz knows or not, I don't see any other option than to go to Forte Castle.
Yeah, so the plan
Once there,
still
we may learn
stands.
more.
We're gonna head to Forte.
If possible, we should try to meet with the Count in person and discuss his intentions directly.
You guys are really something. I'm actually starting to believe you'll be able to make a difference. And since my bow has some life in it... Okay, that settles it. I'm going with you guys to the castle.
Woohoo!
Besides, I owe Count Waltz some payback. A bunch of my poor little goats have been killed because of what he's done.
What? You're telling me we've got another one now? Oh, terrific.
Poor Allegretto.
Sorry, buddy, not so fast. You've actually
Yeah,
got
you
two more
got
coming with
Arco,
you.
too.
Arco and I always travel together.
So there we have it. Finally got Viola. Alright, so let's grab the chest. I think that's an accessory or an item. Item. Club Clover. Another heal item. Alright, let's check out the photos. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, because we could run into these guys in a little bit. But, yeah, like I said before, as soon as possible, I like to get photos of a lot of these guys. Yeah, we got the space for two more. Alright, so now that we have Viola, I'm going to take a little bit of time to get her to level 15.
You don't look so good.
Alright, so welcome back. We've done a little bit of farming, so this is what we got so far. This is the last fight, and we'll be able to hit level 15 with Viola. And I'll be showing you in a second why. I'll just take these guys out. Had a pretty good rhythm here. Was able to take everybody out. And I also switched beat over to Power Smash. Makes it easier to take these guys out at this time. There we go, level 15 for Viola. So why is level 15 so important? Now, for the 360 version of this, we get Heal Arrow. This is one of the best healing skills that we get in the game. There are some other ones that are really good, but Heal Arrow is definitely a must. especially with a new game plus mode in this game, because the monster is going to buff to attack, defense, HP, that sort of thing. So getting heal arrow as fast as possible definitely makes the rest of it easier. But that is completely optional. So once we have that, we can just make sure we have it equipped, because that's the only way we could use it. So it's a light attack, so we need sunlight. Infinite range, so wherever the people are on the battlefield, they can get healed no matter what. And it heals everybody, so that also includes Viola. There are some healing abilities that we see later on that heals only other characters except for the user. So there is some strategy to that as well. So we can finally get moving on. We still have to make our way to Forte, so we gotta travel some more. And since we already traded off the Longjong, we got the goat milk, but we still need to find the NPC for that, which is coming up in a little while. Still got a little ways for that one, because we have this place to get through first. And we get to sit back and enjoy a cutscene.
This is a really old bridge.
Looks old,
If
but
you fell from here, you'd be dead for sure.
yeah, be careful, it's a ways down.
Since I don't usually take the goats this far out to graze, this is actually the first time I've ever crossed this bridge.
You have to cross the Cabasa Bridge if you want to get to Forte Castle from Retornando.
I understand. This bridge is a form of protection. It creates a single point of defense for Forte territory against any attacks that may come from the south.
Bingo!
Bingo.
Hey, you're pretty darn smart, aren't you? That's right. And it's also why there's a fort at one end of the bridge.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's called...
Fort Fermata.
I think it's called Fort Fermata, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Fermata, that's it.
Let's be careful going across, okay? We don't want to fall.
Yeah, definitely don't want to fall.
Ugh, I think I'm
Aw,
gonna
poor
wet
bees.
myself.
I don't think he does heights quite well. Then again, I can't blame him. Alright, don't look down. Oh, I got another cutscene from Waltz.
Well, Fugue, did you learn anything new?
Yes, my lord. It was relatively easy to find the creatures in question, but unfortunately, I could not find a single one that glows.
I've no interest in hearing about your failure.
Yes, but
We know from experiments that mixing those creatures into the powder doubles its effectiveness. And we've also heard several eyewitness accounts of some of them glowing. I must have them, no matter what. If we obtain some that glow, even by conservative estimates, the potency will increase tenfold. It is our duty to protect the well-being of our citizens.
Uh-huh.
The role of a government is to serve its citizens to the utmost of its ability. If the powder's effectiveness increases, the people will be happy, will they not? I can just see the smiling faces of my subjects. So, now that you understand what's at stake, you will go and search for them again. And don't come back until you've found them. This is for our beloved subjects.
yes.
I won't listen to another report of failure. Understand?
So Fugue is working for Waltz. That makes sense.
My lord, the mining operation at Mount Rock is proceeding smoothly. Mineral powder production is also increasing according to plan.
There's no need to report when things are going well.
Ugh. Alright, we made it across the bridge.
Well, we made it across in one piece.
That's what I said.
How's it going, Pete? So, did you wet yourself?
No, of course not.
It's strange, though. Do they actually think that someone will attack Forte from the south? After all, the only big city that's south of here is Retardondo. Do they really need to keep watch from here?
That's a good question. But just take a look around this place. I never said they were actually keeping watch.
Yes. Now that you mention it, I do not see any soldiers posted.
Yeah, it's pretty vacant. Not seeing anybody.
Yeah, that is weird. I figured a fort of all places would have lots of guards.
Well, this fort was in use a long time ago. You see, Retardondo was attacked by pirates lots of times. This is the best spot for a fort, if Retardondo was ever beaten by enemy forces.
Even so, right now it's just a comfy home for people who've been driven mad by the mineral powder.
Alright, now we can continue on. So we made it to Fort Fermata. So we do have to travel a little bit inside to get to the other side of it. We pretty much have to find this room, move this room around so we could get the different places inside the fort, and then we can go to the other side. It's almost like a puzzle. So we'll have to figure out how to get out. Yeah, this place has some really good music to it. A lot of the places that we go to, a lot of the towns, dungeons, really most of the music in here is really good. Yeah, so we gotta take the long way around. Alright. Let's have a look around. So I see a chest up there. We already have photos of the mice. Like I said before, the guy is only looking for species. So we could take 2 different pictures of rats and it would only count as 1. Because we could find different variants of that one. So we already got that one. We also have the magic dudes in here, which we already got as well because of that boss, or pseudo-boss that we fought earlier. So we also got that one covered as well. Now, there is another one in here, but I won't mention it. It's coming up shortly, so we'll see it. I'll just make my way down here. So the room we saw over there, the one with the 2 rooms, that's the one that can move around. In order to move it around, we have to find these smaller rooms down here to the left, go inside and click a button. There are some benefits as to not moving the room because it'll give us access to some chests that we can find. We'll have to run around on top of that bigger room. So we'll see if we can get that second chest. Not seeing... I need to find a ladder, so I gotta go inside it. Huh, feels like the room sunk for a second. Is this room floating on water? Yes, it is. And if you look at the floor here, it actually gives you a hint as to where it can go. For example, the room that we just saw, this one, this is the position that the room is in right now, as you can see it on the floor. So if you look at the rest of the floor, we can actually see little hints. So, yeah, very subtle if you're playing this for the first time. You don't notice the floor. But yeah, the room itself actually shows you hints. So if we were to go into this little room right here, we can click on the button inside and then move the room to its next spot. But I want to keep this room here for a bit because this is the only way we could get this chest. We have to have this room sitting here in this position. And now we can get the chest and see what's inside. Paper umbrella. Sweet, we got a weapon for Polka. And let's see. Okay, 23. That's not bad. Yeah, by the way, during my farming, I was taking a look and looking at the characters to see if they got anything. It turns out, yes. Frederick got an ability called Coup de Jarna. And Polka got an ability called Netherwave. Netherwave is a really good combo one. It's a dark type and it's a multi-hit close combat, which is pretty decent for her because that gives her an advantage of not only healing but attacking as well. And Coup de Jarna is a pretty decent one as well. It hits the enemy in front and does like a back wave behind Frederick. So it's pretty good if you're like surrounded by enemies. So decent abilities. Yeah, Netherwave is a really good one for Polka. Alright, so now that we got the chest, we can actually head back over. Now, there is another chest here, but if you could see the placement of the floor, this room has to be in the second position, right here. So if we saw the position of... Well, if we looked at the floor inside the room, we could tell which room we would have to move it to. So why don't we go take a look. So we need position 2. And it looks like it is this one over here, but we have to be on the other side of the fort. So we're going to have to go in and press the button here. So we'll be good to go. Yeah, so in order to get through the fort, you do have to move this room a few times. Yeah, so we press the button. And then the room moves. Yeah, so we head out, and the room is gone. So now we'll just head up the ladder and try to find our way to the other side. And we can also do this on the other side, too. There are some chests that we can definitely get if we have the room in the right position. I believe... Okay, so I gotta loop down. I gotta go down a little ways. So I gotta go all the way around to the next part. I believe it's the next one, yeah. Right away! Alright, here we go. I don't feel like fighting. I don't really need to farm right now, because the biggest thing was just getting heal arrow. But then again, I suppose I can show you what it's like. Because it is a pretty decent ability.
Who are you? You better back off.
Okay, I got that one out. Okay, take this guy out first. And I suppose we could attack Beat, so we can double up the combo a bit. It looks like Beat needs some healing. Let's make sure I get the guard. Some of those attacks can hurt quite a bit. Alright, so we got a heal arrow. Let's heal. Yeah, definitely a good one at this point. There we go.
Now that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, so heal arrow early on is definitely a must. Because it definitely helps. Especially if you're not using as many items. You can definitely do items, but you kind of have to have a little bit of money first. Out and view through the photos. So take as many as good photos as you can get, you'd be good to go money-wise. Yeah, he sees me. You can see him turning around. Yeah, I suppose I'll find him. I'll be fine.
I'm ready to go. All I have to do is let loose.
Not too bad. Good Shadow Assault. Nice. And I'll just build combo. I could do Rapid Shooter here, like I'll press the button, but because of how beat works with the hit, it tends to not go in effect, which is kind of weird, but that's kind of how it works. Because he kind of goes into a mode like this.
Don't get mad at me.
So, yeah, at that point, Rapid Shooter would be a pretty good one to use, but because of how beat works long range, it tends to mess up the special attacks. Alright, so now we're on the other side. Just gotta find a way over to the room. Okay, so I don't see anything down there. I do see another chest down here that we can get, but we have to have that room in a specific position. Okay, so it looks like it's over there. Yeah, we get another fight.
You're really gonna get it.
Yeah, the battles themselves are pretty decent in here. But like I said before, you don't really have to do too much farming in the first playthrough, and the second one, it's kind of up to you. Sometimes I do, usually just for the heal arrow, and then from then on I'm okay, but there are a couple of spots where it doesn't hurt either, because some of the enemies do get pretty dangerous. And same with the bosses too, if you're not used to doing the guarding. Yeah, so we'll do it this time. So, since I'm doing close combat with beat, I'll be able to use Rapid Shooter, because I can like instantly go into it, compared to the other time. Yeah, so I was able to get a pretty good combo with it. Alright, so it looks like I could take that.